So this is what really makes UiPath or RPA tools in general amazing. So you see, with the same set of activities that I've worked with here, type into, click, and also the application. This was web, so desktop. I will just say, let me say, use application. So I've been using my calculator, so just need to make a few changes here. These. So I'll open my calculator. Size. I'll indicate on screen. So you see the file path here. That now this file path points to the application. Yeah? So my selector, this holds the selector for my UI, because I showed you in the other parts within web where the file path was empty. So you see there with the same. Now I'm desktop. Now I'm able to do this. Now I'm able to use a click activity to interact. Because if you're coming from a technical background and you work with pro code platforms, like maybe say you have used Python to do automations, you find that if you're doing web, you have to use a different set of library. Let me say Selenium, and then if you're doing desktop applications, so you have to choose a different set of tools to use. So you see that makes it a bit. You have to have some certain skill sets to be able to achieve what you want. But with UiPath, with the same set of activities that work on web are the same ones that work on what? On desktop. So I'll indicate on screen, I'll click 7, I'll validate. So these are my selectors there. I'll leave them as is. So I'll trust the application that it's giving me the right selectors, but there's situations where you have to adjust and make a few changes to make them more robust. Comment down in the video if you want me to do a video on how we can make these selectors very dynamic and robust, so to achieve what you want. So I'll go with whatever the app is giving me. So I'll do the add, and I'll get another click activity to, let me say, 7 plus 9, validate, confirm. Then finally I'll click on the equal button. So I'll come and click on equals. I'll confirm there. All is well. So it's time for our test. Check the properties. So we have our input mode to advanced. So I'll close and test. I'll run using F6. F6 runs in debug. So I'm able to get my 7 plus 9 in how long? In 6 seconds. So you see, with the same set of activities, I'm able to achieve that. And maybe the other thing that wanted to, the input methods. So you see, we did say that we have different input methods, and we did also look at the different speeds they have. Input methods in UiPath. So we did look at this. So we see that hardware embeds mid speed, medium, high. So we say that simulate is the fastest. So we saw that in our recent run, we got 6 seconds, as you can see here. It ran for 6 seconds. Yeah, 006. It's ran for 6 seconds using the input mode of what? The input mode of the input mode of hardware event. So I could change it to simulate here and test. So save, I'll run it again. Remember, for simulate it says back execution can happen in the background. It says yes. So if I run, so we see it has closed even. So we see that within 5 seconds. For this, the other one took 6. This one took 7. Sorry, this one took 5. It ran like 1 second faster than the hardware event. So depending on the use case, this can come in really handy, and it can change a lot. That if you're working on, you're inputting a lot of that, 1 second can multiply into. So it depends on on the transactions and whatever you're working with. But we have just seen. So if I take it back to hardware events, we have also seen that it was able to run in the background because it didn't display anything on the screen. So if I take it back and I run, so this one, you see, it literally mimics how we humans interact, the way it types in everything. So you see, it took 6 seconds. Go back, properties, change this to simulate, click, run again in debug. We see that within 5 seconds we're done. Yeah, so that brings us to the end of our video. If you have any questions, do leave them in the chat. If you did find the video useful, do consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification so that you can be notified every time I upload. See you in the next video. I'm out.